Hey guys, before we get started on the Exodus wallet review, I just want to point out that this video is actually a part of a full-length video course on how to get started with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And part of that course also includes an in-depth review of the Jax wallet as well as Coinbase. But I also talk about other aspects of getting started with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, such as how to buy Bitcoin, the multiple options, how to use Shapeshift and Changely, the different exchanges and how they work. And I'll also show some live examples on trading and going from one cryptocurrency to another. And we'll also talk about storing and securing your cryptocurrency and some security considerations. So this is a perfect course if you're looking to get started. Now, this is a paid course, so I can't show all of these videos on YouTube. This is a sample video, but it'll give you a good flavor for some of the things we talk about. This is perfect for someone looking to get started. In less than 2 hours or so, you'll know what you need to know about Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies. And the wallet videos are about 30 minutes each, and they are optional. So you don't need to do them all, but you definitely want to get a flavor for how they work, and this video will show you that. To get there, go to noteinvestor.com/training, and you'll get more information about the video course. I hope you enjoy. Let's look at the Exodus wallet. Now, as far as desktop wallets go, I really like Exodus. Exodus is a relatively new wallet. They launched in, I believe, early 2016. And at this time, there is only the desktop version available. So there's not a mobile app. I don't believe you can get it on tablets and that sort of thing. But as far as desktop go, it's probably one of my favorites. Very clean, very nice user interface. Has a very modern web app feel, which is great. Some of the pros, again, you'll see in the video here as I start to demo this wallet. It's very easy to use, pretty intuitive, has a beautiful design. It's similar to the other one where there's no user information collected, although when you do back up your wallet, they'll send you an email, so you do have to enter that. It's multi-currency, so multiple cryptocurrencies, and you can see in the example here, they have this chart, which is essentially a graphic of the different values in different cryptocurrencies, similar to a pie chart, but it's this graphic here. Total value there. You can see there the different currencies. So Augur, Bitcoin, Dash, Doge, Ethereum, Factum, Golem. So they're adding as they go, taking some away. So it's definitely fluctuating, but the most popular ones are here in this wallet. It also has an exchange similar to some of the other wallets like Jax, and they use Shapeshift on the back end, but you don't see the Shapeshift logo on this one, but it still works the same way. And again, this one's self-hosted, so it's encrypted, locally stored on your machine, so they don't control your keys, or you don't have to trust their servers or anything like that as far as safeguarding your cryptocurrency. And they have a very good website with lots of help, and founders and the developers are very involved and very responsive. So I like that. Again, some of the cons, relatively new, so don't really have that long-term reputation built, but they're quickly gaining ground as a very popular wallet. They're not open source, so that's you don't see their source code to see what's going on there. And again, as I mentioned, it's only on the desktop at this time. So to get Exodus, you want to go to exodus.io. This is similar to the other ones where, it's not a .com or a .org or .info. These technology, software platforms, apps, that sort of thing are very typical to see .io as the extension. Very common in the software development realm. So here's the latest website. You can see they recently added Augur as one of the new currencies on here. There's some good help videos on how to use it, some demos. They have really nice screenshots, the portfolio view, how the exchange works, the multi-asset capabilities. So this is a very nice website, a lot of good information about what they do, what their benefits are, some of the things you can do with this wallet. So definitely come take a look at this wallet. Look at their website if you want more information on there. If there's any issues on the support page, they're very active here. A lot of good articles, how to get started, troubleshooting, that sort of thing. So this is what I like to see in a wallet. A lot of support. And the best thing about it is it's free, just like some of the other ones we're looking at. This is completely free. So a great wallet. So when you're ready, go ahead and download that. So you'll go to the main page, exodus.io, and hit the download button. And you'll just pick the operating system you're on. So if you're on Windows, hit Windows, Mac, or Linux. And it's pretty straightforward. There's not any options for browser extensions like Chrome or mobile versions or tablet versions. Just go to the one you're on. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to go ahead and download from the Mac. I'm going to go ahead and pause it and get this up and running. You can do the same, and when you're ready to proceed after install, go ahead and hit play again. So Exodus downloads pretty quickly and loads pretty fast. So when you install it, this is what you'll see. Welcome to Exodus, getting started. And you'll see here by default, it lists all of the currencies that they currently support. So at this time, it's Augur, Bitcoin, Dash, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Golem, and Litecoin. And so I'll show you guys how to change this. If you don't want to list them all, you can put fewer ones if you want, or make more specific. And we'll go through some of the settings. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So at the left here, you can see the total value of your portfolio, as they call it. So basically all of your holdings, which is really nice. Some of the other wallets, you have to cycle through the different currencies, which is kind of like an independent wallet within the wallet. So you can only see the total balance for the one you currently are on. This one shows you the whole thing in one, which is nice. And then the next one down is wallets. And so here you can see the menu of all the different currencies. And as you click through them, you'll just see kind of the main wallet interface for each one. And look how nice that is. Very simple, very clean, big buttons, nice and bright. I like this. It's a very clean and modern looking wallet. Down here is the exchange. Again, this is backed by Shapeshift, and it works very similar. So say you have Bitcoin and you want to exchange some Bitcoin for Ethereum. So instead of having to send your Bitcoin to an exchange externally to a website or a different service, and then giving them your receiving address for your other currency, in this case Ethereum, you can do it all here without having to leave the wallet. So this just takes care of it for you. And so we'll get into a live demo of that here shortly. I just want to go through some of the different settings and buttons and menu options on this wallet. This next one is a backup. This is only available when you actually have some deposits. So you'll see that when you deposit your first currency, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, then this will open up some more options for you. Down here in the settings on the left bottom corner is two options. The top one is assets. So let's look at that first. And this is the show hide for the multiple currencies. So if you don't want to see all of the currencies in your portfolio dashboard, this is where you'll change that. Now you'll notice Bitcoin always active, Ethereum always active. So at minimum, you have to show those two. But you can take off some of these if you don't want to see them all, or you can just mix and match. So let's say we do Bitcoin, Dash, and Ethereum. And we'll go back to portfolio. And there you go. You can see Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum. And so if you had different balances in here, this background, it's kind of hard to see, but this silver gray background would split up depending on the ratio of your portfolio. So if each one was 1/3 of the total, then this would be broken up into the three colors and so forth. So let's go back to settings. Let me just go ahead and add them all back in like the default. Now this next one down here, skins. This is pretty cool because it lets you modify how your wallet looks. So you'll notice by default it's this origin kind of gray, very minimalistic feel. But if you want, you can make it dark. There's this dark sky, this nice blue, equinox. So there's a lot of really neat options. There's some texture options. So it just kind of at your preference. It's just a nice little adder to give it a more personal feel. Um, Whatever you prefer makes it more comfortable, makes it feel like it's really your own personal wallet. And there's even these themes, and they're adding more. This matrix one's pretty cool. I like this deep space one. And when you go back to the portfolio, you can see it stays however you change it. So very nice options there to just kind of play around with the look of your wallet. So I like that. And then down here, this help menu is just links, live chat, and they have a Slack channel that you can link up to. They even list their phone number. I mean, that is outstanding customer support and ticket issuing and all that. And so help videos are linked on here. So these are just links within the wallet that'll take you to their websites and external apps such as Slack or the email. Um, some frequently asked questions are down here, how to troubleshoot. And so very nice that this is all just built in within the wallet. And that's really it. So the menu system is pretty basic. So you get your settings, your help. Your portfolio is really just your dashboard where you kind of see everything when you first log in or start the wallet up. And this is where you're going to be sending and receiving anything. So this wallet and exchange are probably going to be the two most frequently used tabs here. So let's look at the wallet. We'll look at Bitcoin, and it's very similar to the other ones where you have a send and a receive, but you'll notice that it's pretty clean other than that. Now, once you start loading transactions, there'll be a little bit of a history here, but other than that, you don't see these long numbers or addresses or anything until you actually do something here. So it's just going to show you your balance and what the equivalent is for that in US dollars. And let's say we want to send some Bitcoin out, then it gives you this little pop-up and you can enter the Bitcoin address here. So if someone emails it to you, you can do it that way. You can send the amount here. And so you say, I want to send 2.0 BTC. It'll convert it for you down here based on current pricing. Bitcoin's $2,000 a Bitcoin. So the total US dollar value would be just over 4,000 for the 2 BTC. Similar to the other wallets, you can also convert it so that you're talking in US dollars. So if you click on where this says BTC here, it's a little bit of a toggle. So you click on that and you'll notice it changed to USD. And so now you can talk in dollars. Let's say you want to send $100 and it calculates it for you and it says you are sending 0.0488 BTC. So just under 5/10 of a Bitcoin. Or 500s, excuse me, of a Bitcoin. So pretty neat that it just converts that for you, and you can just toggle between Bitcoin, USD, or bits even, which is even smaller. So very neat. I like that. Very easy, intuitive to use. Here you can pre-fill. So this is kind of if you have a max that you're sending. You say you have 10 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin or whatever, and you want to just send everything. You click on that, and it'll just send it out for you. One handy feature is this click to scan QR code. And so how this works is if somebody has a mobile wallet or you have a mobile wallet that you want to send from your desktop to the mobile wallet, you'll click on this, and what this will do is this will activate the camera on your computer, your desktop, or your laptop, whatever you're on. And then you can scan the QR code from your mobile wallet and it'll pre-populate the address for you. I thought that was a really neat feature that they built into. So even though it's a desktop version, it still has that external interface that many of the mobile wallets will have where they can scan a QR code. So that's pretty handy there. And then this is the fees that you'll see depending on how many Bitcoin you send out. And so all of the other wallets will look the same way. Receive is similar. Here's your address. You can send this picture to somebody, or you can copy the address in a couple of ways. You can just copy it to your clipboard and do it that way. You can email it. View it on the blockchain is more for looking at the address history and we won't go into that right now. And you can even print this up. So you can get the QR code, and the same thing with the other wallets. This, you can just take your mobile phone or have somebody's mobile phone. You can just scan this and it'll pre-populate your address into their send field, and then it'll receive it that way. So pretty simple, send, receive, and it works just like a lot of the other ones where it shows the address, you pre-populate the amount. Let's look at another one. Let's say a Golem here. So you can say receive Golem, there's your address. You can highlight it, you can copy it to your clipboard that way. Send, same thing. You can scan a QR code, you can put the address in here manually, or put the amount in. Now it's flashing red because that's not a valid Golem nomenclature. And each address is pretty smart. It'll know if you're sending it to a wrong token, just because they start with different address numbers typically. So Exodus is a very clean, very simple wallet, very intuitive and user-friendly. Once you actually just start looking through the menu system, you'll find it very simple to use and very easy to understand. So let's look at a couple example transactions just to see what the wallet looks like as it changes. So I will go ahead and deposit some tokens into one of these wallets here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to say send some LITECOIN to this wallet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this from my mobile app. And so you won't see that on the screencast here, but what I'll do is I'll say receive, and I'm going to scan this QR code with my mobile wallet and send some LITECOIN to this wallet address, which is right here. So I'm going to send 4 LITECOIN to this address. So I'm scanning it on my mobile phone now, and I'm going to hit send now. And so let's see how long that takes to go through. So I just hit send, and look at that. You heard it come right in. It was nearly instantaneous. And so you can see here, received a few seconds ago, 4 LITECOIN. So now you can see my balance. 4.00 LTC, US dollar value 106. Now if we go over to the dashboard, you can see here my total portfolio is worth 106, and we look at the portfolio and notice it's all colored in one silver color. That's because there is only LITECOIN in here, so it's saying 100% of this wallet is LITECOIN, and that's what this is here. You can see the 100% LITECOIN 106. Now let's say I sent another $106 to this, but it was $106 of Ethereum or Dash or Bitcoin. Then you would see this split in half, and it'd be 50%, 50%. So it's pretty neat, and it just balances based on the fiat currency value, not on the total coin. So if I sent 4 LITECOIN and 1 Ethereum, and Ethereum is $100, then it's still going to say 50% because it's looking at the US dollar value. But very clean, very handy, and very fast. You noticed how fast that came through when I sent the LITECOIN. That was almost instantaneous, and like I said, you can see these transactions, and as you get more, you can build them up, and you can do different things here with them, and there's more detail you can read. They'll give you the date, the time, the transaction ID, so a lot of really good stuff here. Let's take a look at doing an exchange now. So now we have some LITECOIN, and let's say we want to convert this into one of the other currencies in this wallet here. So just note that it is limited to the exchange of these currencies only. So if you want to exchange for other currencies, then at that point you'll have to send this out to one of the exchanges and then receive it into a wallet of a different currency if it's not listed here. So let's go to the exchange. And let's start here. So on the left, you can say, I want to exchange. So the left side is what you have and what you want to send out. And on the right is what you want to receive. So let's select LITECOIN. So I'll go to the bottom. And you'll notice I have 4 LITECOIN, but it only says I have 3.9978. And that's because there's a very tiny transaction fee that is basically charged on the blockchain itself for the nodes that are running this and the mining fees, etc. And so you won't get the full 4 LITECOIN out. So let me just go back to the wallet to make that clear. So if I go to my wallet, I have 4.0 Litecoin. But if I want to send something out to the exchange, the most I can send is the 3.99 because it's automatically deducting that very tiny fee that's going to be factored in. And so I can say all half what the minimum is. So if I do min, it'll populate. That's the minimum amount that I can send is $2.63 worth or 0.098 Litecoin. I can say send half of my Litecoin, so just under 2, or I can say all of my Litecoin, which is basically the 4 Litecoin minus that small fee. So I'm going to say half just to show you on the dashboard how it changes. So if I say send 1.998 Litecoin, I want to receive, oh, let's say we want to get some Golem here. So I will get 210 Golem, $53 worth of Golem. So let's go ahead and hit exchange, and you'll see it's already telling you based on the current exchange rates, you send out 1.998 Litecoin, $53 worth, and you will receive 210 Golem, $52 worth. And so the tiny difference here of a dollar is the spread. And this spread changes frequently based on the currency values of each coin. And it also changes based on what the exchange is. And I'll show you here in a minute when we're done with this, but if I go from Litecoin to Bitcoin, this spread will be different. If I go from Dash to Ethereum, this spread's going to be different. So it's going to fluctuate based on the combinations you're doing. So let's go ahead and exchange. And so it's already kind of telling you, step 1, we're sending Litecoin. So this is going out to Shapeshift. You can see their logo here. And then they're sending it back. So your exchange is now in progress. In 30 minutes or less, your Golem will arrive. You can safely use or quit Exodus while exchange is in progress. And it's typically a lot faster than 30 minutes, but it depends on the coin that you're doing. Some of them, the transactions are very quick and they're confirmed very quickly. And so if you're doing something like Litecoin or Ethereum where the transactions and timing there is very fast, it's not going to be 30 minutes. It'll typically be a couple of minutes, probably closer to 5 minutes. If you're doing something with Bitcoin, sometimes those can take a little longer. I've seen going from like Litecoin or Ethereum to Dash sometimes can take a little longer. So it just really depends. One thing to notice though, it's nice that they tell you this so you don't panic when you go to your wallet and you don't see any more money there. Notice my total dashboard, it went down. It used to say $106, now it says 53. So I'm missing half of it, and that's because it's temporarily on its way out to the exchange. They will convert it to Golem, they being Shapeshift in this case, and then they're going to send me my Golem back, and then you'll see this go back up. I'm going to pause this for now, and we'll wait for that Golem to come through, and we'll see how long that takes. And there it is. So it just came through. You can see the balance is back up to 106. I was actually expecting that to be a lot lower, so that's pretty good. The spread was really small, so we'll go look at the portfolio. But this is done, and so let me go to the portfolio. Value 106, and you can see now that the graphic here is split into two, 50% Litecoin or 51% Litecoin and 49% Golem. So very nice, very quick. That exchange took about 15 minutes or so. So a little longer than normal, but certainly less than that 30 minutes that they had said that it might take. And like I said, it just depends on the coin that you're transacting. Some of the blockchains are a little bit faster, so it may take a few minutes to up to the 30 minutes. But that's it. So there's the dashboard. Now if I go to my wallet and I go to Golem, you can see the Golem, the 210, valued at $52 US. And if I go to Litecoin, you'll see my 4 Litecoin is now basically 2. And so you can see exchange for Golem. So nice little transaction history here. 15 minutes ago. You can see how quickly that goes through. And if you want to do it again, just go back to exchange. This is exchange again. It'll reset your screen. and you just pick what you have here. So if I want to do Golem to Ethereum or Augur or one of these other ones, it'll tell you how to do that. Golem is based on Ethereum, which is why it's giving me this little this error here. So you'll have to put some Ethereum first, but that's a completely different topic. I just want to give you guys an example here. So that's pretty much it for the Exodus wallet. Very simple, very beautiful design and user interface. I really enjoy this as my desktop wallet. Like I said, that's the only drawback here is it's desktop only at this time. There's not a mobile version, but for a desktop, probably my favorite wallet all around. So I hope you enjoy using the Exodus wallet.